Hey, Manuel Zavaios, certified emotion code practitioner here. So grateful that you're tuning in, especially if those of you who are involved in that relationships, and there's ships that are sinking, there's ships that are, doing very well and floating abroad, but we all are involved in some form of relationship. And I've noticed, and I've had my mistakes in the past. I'm not claiming to be perfect, and no one that is teaching usually is never perfect. Sometimes they try to say that they are, but they're not. And, so I'm going to be very vulnerable, because I've had, in the past, I've had some very tough relationships, but I'm always curious, like, why is that? And maybe you're wondering that. Maybe you're watching this video because I posted something on Facebook, but I kind of want you to open up this idea. And it's not from me, it's from Dr. Bradley Nelson, who I've studied over the last 7 years, and kind of what really causes my clients, even the clients that I meet with, to sort of sabotage their relationship. And you're wondering why it's not working. So I want to give you guys just two things, to keep it very, very simple about what is the major thing that breaks up more relationships than anything. Obviously, there's a thing called the heart wall. I'm not going to explain that right now. I may put a video down there where I explain 15 minutes what the heart wall is. I think this is the number one culprit, but there's two other things that really cause issues here. Number one is stress, and number two is triggers. So stress and triggers can cause major issues in a relationship. And I think now more than ever, because of what the pandemic has created, we're all here and we're all closer to each other. So the blessing is we come home. The bad news is we're home. And all the baggage that we kind of delay from time to time because we go to work or we're with the kids, now it's like a concentrated energy in the home. And I've seen more people either come together and get married, or I've seen more people break up in this last year than ever. And I think it really has to do with we're not paying attention to the delayed inner universe that we should be paying attention to. That even reading the best book on relationships, the 5 love languages, how to win friends and influence people, or there's just different things. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. All those are great, but the problem is try to react the way the author wants you to react if you're reactive. I'll say it again. Try to act like the author wants you to react if you're someone who is a reactive person. It's just impossible. Trust me, I've tried. The books that should have helped you, you end up throwing them at a window or throwing them outside because it's hard to really focus. You're not present anymore. So here are the two things that Dr. Brad, once I learned about it, it's so amazing, that we all deal with. All of our systems, okay, kind of like cars, we all have to have motors. I don't know who you are or if we've ever talked before, but I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients over 7 years, and all of them have these things in common. You're not too special to have these allergies, which is what I want to talk about. So there's the idea intolerance, and then there's idea allergy. So there's these two allergies. Now it's not like you're just sneezing for a relationship or do something like that. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with your body, your subconscious can make you allergic when a certain idea shows up. Let me tell you the differences here. So idea allergy is more, I want you to picture idea allergy equals triggered, or going offline, or not being present, or anger 101. That's all idea allergy, okay? On the other side, there's idea intolerance, which is stress symptoms. Anxiety, overwhelmed, nervousness, headaches, feeling tired, just symptoms of stress that come out of nowhere because you have an intolerance. So let's talk about the allergy. So many of us have these allergies, you don't even know it, but as I work with people, they go, oh yeah, I really get upset when my husband does this, or I really get upset when my partner does this, and they don't know why. Well, the good news is conscious brain, we don't need to know why. It's more the subconscious. What do we need to know about the subconscious? And here's what we found out is that there's usually some trauma it's connected to. So there's a really cool phrase in the body code called associated imbalance, or I call it AI. If you look at my notes, it'll say AI : which means that there's something below the allergy, something that adds fuel to this allergy. And if you don't remove that thing below it, kind of like cutting the top of a weed, it'll grow back again. So there's a lot of great modalities out there in regards to energy healing. There's a lot of great ones out there. However, they only remove the tip of the weed, and they don't actually remove the thing at the bottom. So here's what's key. Allergies can make you triggered. For example, it could be I worked with a client once that she was triggered by confidence. And there's a list of them. There's like over 120 of them. And Dr. Bradley Nelson and the Great Discovery Healing Team, they produced this chart, and I muscle test using muscle testing while I'm connected with someone long distance to see which one of these allergies they have. Once I find it though, let's say it's allergy to confidence. So whenever they see a confident person, in their mind they get triggered. They're like, oh, I hate that person for some reason. I don't know why. That person triggers me. I don't know why. That person exudes confidence. I don't know why I'm upset at this person. I don't like them. I don't want to be around them. Well, maybe there's an associated imbalance below it. Maybe, for example, confident people have betrayed you throughout your life. And so maybe I might find what they call a memory field. A memory field is a bunch of memories that your body has easy access to. And the traumatic memories are usually in front of the eyes. If you have a lot of them, they give you eye problems. And when you have these, maybe that's what's adding fuel to your allergy. So I have to remove both of them. Otherwise, guess what? This allergy comes back. And so I would ask, is there something associated with this, and I would remove it. But that's one of the things that you might have an allergy to love. You might have an allergy to, there's one that's really interesting. There's one that's like giving and receiving like equally. So if you feel in your relationship like, I'm give, and not enough receive, yeah, you should be upset about it. Yeah, you shouldn't be happy about it. But should you get triggered about it? And the answer is no. Don't get triggered about it. Because if you get triggered about it, now you're going to start a fight, and then now there's a lot of contention happening in the relationship that could have been avoided if you would have just stayed present and just said, I'm going to talk to them about how I'm giving a lot and I'm not receiving much, but I'm not going to get triggered about it, because guess what happens? They're not going to listen to you anymore. You become a wah, 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 Charlie Brown, and now the relationship starts going through havoc. It didn't need to go there if you could just avoid it. So a lot of people say, well, Emmanuel, if you remove the allergies, then am I going to be tolerant of this abuse? Or am I going to be tolerant of my situation in my relationship? And the answer is no. It's just made for you to stay even keel so you can handle the relationship better. So you want to remove as many allergies as possible. And they're called idea allergies. You could have an allergy to being overpowered. You can have an allergy to being noticed. You can literally have an allergy to anything. It could be an action, a place, a thought. You can even have allergy to an emotion. For example, love unreceived. That's a trapped emotion you can create. If you feel love unreceived in a relationship and it says you have an idea allergy to it, you're probably getting triggered about how you feel like you're not receiving enough love. And I have to find out what's below it, remove that, and then all of a sudden, now whenever that happens, again, you can just stay even keel and talk to your partner about how you don't feel that way, and then you can remain calm, collected, and trust me, your partner wants that when you're confronting them with flaws in the relationship. Now, let's talk about idea intolerance. You guys ready? So idea intolerance has to do with stress symptoms. And I remember my wife was talking to her ex, and I immediately noticed when I was looking over at her on the couch that she was like sinking into the couch. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen your partner all of a sudden get like, oh, I'm just tired. I don't know, all of a sudden, I don't know why. It's not because of the food they ate. It's not because they're lactose intolerant. They just had pizza. It could be because they have an intolerance, or they feel tired, or all of a sudden they get really overwhelmed, stressed out, anxious, nervous. You're like, hey, what's going on with my friend? They're probably tapping into an idea intolerance, which means that their body has created this, it's almost like a protective measure for you to be like, whoa, no, you don't want that. You've had history with that. Don't do that. So I tell people all the time, it's almost like you went on, let's say like you can have an intolerance to joy. You might be like, whoa, every time I feel joy, I'm gonna start feeling stressed out. Well, that's not gonna help out my relationship, because what if my partner wants to give me joy? But maybe you've been on the journey of joy for a long time and there's trauma every time you try to have joy. Now your body says, I have an intolerance towards joy. So every one of these intolerance or allergies is because you've tried to go on a journey to have that in your life somehow, and it just didn't work out. Just trauma after trauma behind it, and now you've created an allergy where you get triggered by it, or now you have an intolerance where you get stressed about it. And in her case, it was had to do with drama. I muscle tested. I'm like, what's going on right now? Is in column B, column A, and there it was. It was drama. And I said, okay, is there a reason why you have that? And her body says, I have a memory field. Again, access to lots of memories. And I said, well, what type of memory field? And it was a drama. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, it was a memory field of defensiveness. So she has lots of memories that she can tap into, her subconscious can tap into, of defensiveness. This is why all these memories, it could be 100, 200, 300 memories, this kind of cloud of memory that actually causes the intolerance to exist. And so that's what's really interesting. So I had to remove the memory field first, then I removed the intolerance, and all of a sudden her energy came back, and then she was talking and texting on the phone because she had to communicate with the ex-husband, who is still the father of her kids. So that's what's really, really interesting is that, but what if she got stressed and tired and everything, and you want to communicate with her? Probably not the best time to do that. She feels anxious, overwhelmed, and stressed, and we think, oh, what can we do to fix it? We can't fix it, because even if you can't talk her through an energy she's feeling. This is what's very powerful about talk therapy. It's great, but if you have an energy that's reverberating, like the size of a tennis ball or a cantaloupe in your body, it's really, really hard to snap out of it, to be present again. And so I just wanted to share with you guys, those are two things that if you have lots of triggers, if your partner gets triggered a lot, if your partner gets stressed a lot, overwhelmed and anxious, they probably have either an idea intolerance or an idea allergy. And these can affect their relationship and cause unnecessary contention. So hopefully I got to enlighten you guys, to help you out. Just kind of like say like, hey, you know what? Maybe this has nothing to do with me or my partner. It's because of our trauma in our childhood, or because it's something inherited that came to me from my great-great-great-grandfather. Trust me, there are things that have nothing to do with you that are causing you to act a certain way. So that should give you hope. And so I just want to just put some light on both of those things there. Hopefully that adds some value to you. Maybe comment below what insight you've had. Maybe you have an allergy right now. You're thinking of like, oh yeah, for some reason this triggers me. And you start kind of just opening up your mind to this idea, and just know that the emotion code, body code can address that and help you out. So with that, I wish you guys a great day, and hopefully this enlightens you to help you kind of move forward in your relationship. Hey, share this with your partner. Let them know, hey, maybe you have an idea intolerance, an idea allergy, and maybe you're overdue to meet with a practitioner like myself or somebody else, and then we can help you out with your journey. So love you guys, and hope you guys enjoy this information. Take care. Bye-bye.